Take 4. It took me 4 attempts to get here. I do it normally better when I'm doing it live. Hey, talk about pressure. Anyway, I'm talking about a subject that's quite close to people's hearts in bronchiectasis, and it's something called candida, also known as thrush, and it can develop when we take a lot of antibiotics over a long period of time. It's not really over a short period of time. It's if you keep getting infection, you probably build up a resistance to the antibiotic and also grow candida in the mouth or in warm, moist places. So that's under armpits, in a leg. It can develop skin conditions on the back, things like that. But this time around, I didn't feel well 3 weeks ago. I developed something that seemed like a sore throat. Now this sore throat went a week later, it reappeared and it stayed longer than your average sore throat. It lasted me nearly 2 or 3 weeks. So I went to the doctors, told me no tonsillitis. The very next day I was under my specialist and she looked in it with a stick and said it looks like candida thrush. If it gets worse, you're going to need some nystatin. A day after specialist, I just wasn't feeling myself. I felt very weak. I was feverish, sweating, and I just felt like something wasn't quite right. And decided to ring the 111 service, and they put me through to the out-of-hour doctor, who rang me. We spoke about the symptoms. I told him about what the specialist said. So he decided to do me an over-counter prescription. So I had to just pick up the prescription, and he did that for a medication called nystatin oral. I've used it before, and in the past it's worked, but it's made me feel quite sickly. So whilst I was waiting for this prescription to be picked up, I decided to just do your basic salt wash. So I put salt in a warm cup of water, a teaspoon of it. I also had some spare bicarbonate, which is good for cleaning products and things like that. So I put a teaspoon of bicarbonate, and I rinsed my mouth out, and I went to bed that night, and I woke up and I looked in my mouth, and my mouth seemed to, show some improvement. There was less white coating, so I did it again. And today I've picked up my medication and I've used it once. I think I've got something on my eye there. I'm not stopping this. So I've used it the once and it's knocking me sick. So I'm going to alternate this treatment with the salt and bicarbonate treatment. So I'll probably use this just before bed. I'm very reluctant to use it in the day, so I'll use it as a 1 drop before bed, or I might even do 1.5 just to get that little bit more dosage in whilst asleep. So whilst we're here, I'd like to show you my tongue, just to show people that, this illness, it's not just a chest illness, and once we take our medicines, everything's fine. We encounter problems such as the problem I'm facing. So the white coating is disappearing from my tongue, but what you'll see, you'll be left with liaison cuts from the thrush, and it's very painful. So I want to show you, so you can, I don't want you to sympathise with me, but I want people to realise when they search the word bronchiectasis, the difficulties we face. So this is my current tongue right now. And that's quite painful. But what I will say, I've seen improvement, the coating's going down, it was around my lips as well. Now, things we can do to avoid thrush and candida build up in the body whilst being on antibiotics and inhalers and things like that is we can bring in a spacer for certain medications. So the Fostar inhaler will have a spacer, and the medication is still going to be in the back of the throat, but it's not going to be constantly pressed in the mouth. So a lot of it's going to go in the lungs, but a lot of it will be around the mouth area, the lips, the inner palate, the tongue. So the spacer reduces that, and it gets to the lungs, okay? So that's one thing we can do. We can clean the spacer out as well from time to time. We can also gargle salt water after treatment such as steroid inhalers, even nebulized medication such as terbutaline, because that's quite potent, that could cause it. Not too worried about Ventolin, but terbutaline, yeah, I definitely would think about rinsing my mouth out. Again, when you're on steroid treatment, tablet format, maybe do the same thing, swirl your mouth out. Okay, that's another thing you can do. Also clean the masks as well, because candida is a fungal infection, it's fungus. So if we can reduce the risks of getting it, you know, it's going to suit us better in the long run. So we can do the traditional washing of the mask, fairy liquid, soap, hot water, rinse, dry. But there's something that I've got today, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it later on. But I spoke to the medic on the phone who said to me, them masks, mouthpieces, even from the INEB, you know, are cause of fungus and growth, and just washing it alone may not kill it. And also, it'd be better to wash it after you've used it. Instead of using your mask and say, I'll wash it in the morning, you've allowed build-up of stuff on there. So anyway, what she told me to do is buy sterilisation tablets, which you use on a baby's bottle, for instance, and sterilise the mask. Now, you could do this every day before, you know, at night time, so it's ready in the morning. You can still alternate it with washing, sterilising, but you get the picture. Is the mask needs, you know, looking after. The pipe can't be cleaned, the inlet of the pipe can't, but if you've got the pipe like this, okay, so this is your pipe, when I get it, the pipe here, just antibacterial the pipe going downwards, okay, do not put nothing inside the pipe. Little things like that, clean round your nebulizer as well, the switches, I'm sure you do it, but just these little things that you can be doing anytime something arises like this. It makes sense to get rid of your mask, bring a new one in, maybe change filters, just do little things as precaution to stop it from coming back, and sort of realise what's causing it. In my case, I know what was causing it. I had a terrible wheeze. I had to bring that wheeze down. I was long period of time on steroids, oral, and I was overusing my steroid Foster. So again, everything is hygiene when it comes to steroid treatment, okay? Because you don't want to have this problem. It's not just painful in the tongue. When you get a candida build up like I have, it fatigues you, it makes you sweat. It is an infection, but it is a fungal infection. Okay, guys? So, if anything you can get from this is keep your hygiene up and think of ways of reducing the risks. See you later.